Hello everyone, welcome to episode 3 of Baba Talks. I was inspired to get this one out because I'm preparing for the tour to Beijing, and a lot of times people don't get to see what goes into the preparation of something, the behind the scenes stuff. So I've got a couple of cores out here that I've completely taken apart, putting back together, and now I'm in the process of restringing and getting them tuned. But while I was doing this, it reminded me of something that happened many years ago when I was first learning how to tune, and I wanted to share that with you. But before I share, do me a favor, once again, you guys know the drill. Sit tight just for a few seconds. I'm going to play the intro, and then I'll be back to share the story of inspiration with you. Welcome back. I appreciate you sitting tight. I'm not going to keep this long, and as I told you, whenever inspiration strikes, I'm going to put out one of these Baba Talks, so I could be anywhere. So right now I'm in my backyard putting together the chorus and getting everything tight for the tour to Beijing that's coming up in a week. But let me get to the story of inspiration. While I was out here tuning, I remembered something that happened to me when I was first learning how to tune the kora. I was in Senegal in a place called Charoy, and my teacher, at the time I had a few teachers. Sangkung was my main teacher. His father, Buba, was sort of like the one who watched over everything. But here's something interesting that happened, and it was one of my life lessons. We all have those crossroads moments, right? We all have those, what would you call them, those signposts in the road of life on your journey. So, Buba was sitting with me one day. Sankun was off. I don't remember what Sankun was doing, but Buba was sitting with me one day, and he was helping me with tuning. Now, the way a kora is tuned, you have these little leather strips here, and you move them up or down, and then they lock into place with tension. But the thing that was happening that day, and the thing that had been plaguing me when I first started learning, was you start here at the top or the bottom. It doesn't matter where you start, but if one of them falls, there was a domino effect. They would just all fall. And I was very good at making them all fall. But one day, Boo was with me, and he showed me, and I was kind of proud. Because I can get this. I know I can do this. So I start trying to tune the way Booba showed me, moving the consulo, the leather strips up, getting them down, getting them in the right place. And I don't know what it was about this day, but every time I would get near the middle or even near the end, it would collapse, they would all come down, which was frustrating. And to his credit, Booba would come and he would watch me for a little bit, and sometimes he sat by me, sometimes he stood over me, sometimes he squatted down. And this went on for a while, and because my goal was, every time he came, I was going to get it tuned. I was going to show him when he got back, it was tuned. But they kept falling. So after about 30 minutes of this, my frustration rose. My frustration rose because it was such a simple process that it showed me that it should have been working. But I kept trying, and he kept coming back, and he was very patient. He didn't say anything. He would just watch me silently. After about an hour, my frustration turned into anger, hot anger. So Booba comes, and he's squatting down next to me, and I'm continually doing so, and then they fall, and then my anger just takes over, and I look at him and I said, what am I doing wrong? And just as smooth as could be, Booba looks at me and says, finally you ask. I suffered all that time unnecessarily. And 5 minutes into it, I could have asked him to show me again. He was there for me. He was demonstrating that he was there for me. But my ego got in the way, and frustration and anger took over, and that clouds judgment. Like I said, this was one of those crossroads moments for me. And while I was out here working, I just thought, this is something I might want to share. Because I think that this is a universal thing, isn't it? Don't we all feel like we get frustrated or angry, and it clouds our judgment, it clouds our vision? That was valuable lesson that I'm thankful to have had. Now, I got to get back to work. I hope you enjoyed this moment, this of inspiration, as I call it. Baba Talks 4 may be from Beijing. I'm going to try to see if I can get you some episodes from Beijing, all right? So until our paths cross again, Doni Doni, Konone Beyankada.